and he brings me this whole printout from a forum telling me about the hadith. So I looked through it, I grazed through it, and then I said to him, I said, brother, who wrote this? He said, a scholar wrote it. I said, okay, which scholar? He said, I don't know. I said, then that means your knowledge is da'if. Because the same principles you're saying that this hadith is da'if is the same principles you extracted your knowledge. You don't know where you're getting it from. And this is one of the main reasons something is considered weak in the science of hadith if you don't know who the teacher is. One of the main reasons. And now every person, you don't know a masla, let's Google it. Let's put it online. In a very short time, these things will be hacked. There'll be misinformation. So many times the Qadiani website pops up, a Shia website pops up so many times. Especially on any seerah. On seerah so much it pops up. Now we don't know. We go through there, we go through the searches, and that's what we do. Knowledge has to come from the heart. And knowledge has to retain in the mind. And this is where protection will come. Hafidh al-Quran, why do we produce hafaz? We have so much Quran and publications, why produce a hafiz? The production of a hafiz is that in British India, when they began burning the Qurans down, they put the children forward and they said, until the last of these kids are not gone, the Quran won't be wiped away. So the Quran is not protected in bind and pages and covers, it's protected in the heart of men and women. Anyway.
فآتاهم الله ثواب الدنيا وحسن ثواب الآخرة. Allah gave them good thawab and a positive thawab in the dunya and a great thawab in the akhirah. Wallahu yuhibbul muhsinin. And Allah loves the ones who are compassionate. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن تطيعوا الذين كفروا. O you who believe, if you follow those who disbelieve, يردوكم على أعقابكم فتنقلبوا خاسرين. If you follow the haram ways and you follow the wrong ways, they will turn you back and you will be a loser. بَلِ اللَّهُ مَوْلَاكُمْ وَهُوَ خَيْرُ النَّاصِرِينَ. But Allah is your protector and Allah is your friend and Allah is your guardian. وَهُوَ خَيْرُ النَّاصِرِينَ. Out of all the people that could help you, only Allah can help you and He's the best of helpers. سنلقي في قلوب الذين كفروا الرعب بما أشركوا بالله ما لم ينزل به سلطانا. We will put fear and awe into the hearts of those who do shirk as بالله بما لم ينزل به سلطانا, since they have associated with something with Allah that they have no authority to associate. وَمَأْوَاهُمُ النَّارِ. Their place is Jahannam. وَبِئْسَ مَثْوَى الظَّالِمِينَ. And what a terrible place what a terrible home do the Zalimeen have. وَلَقَدْ صَدَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ وَعْدَهُ إِذْ تَحُسُّونَهُمْ بِإِذْنِهِ حتى إذا فشلتم وتنازعتم في الأمر وعصيتم من بعد ما أراكم ما تحبون منكم من يريد الدنيا ومنكم من يريد الآخرة ثم صرفكم عنهم ليبتليكم ولقد عفا عنكم والله ذو فضل على المؤمنين. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَلَقَدْ صَدَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ وَعْدَهُ, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised His wa'da. In the battle of Uhud, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the battle of Uhud, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, stay in this location for the archers, and he said, don't leave this position for any reason. You all know the story. We'll go through this quickly, inshallah. I'm supposed to finish the whole juz today. I'm finish a quarter. وَلَقَدْ صَدَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ وَعْدَهُ, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fulfilled His promise. إِذْ تَحُسُّونَهُمْ بِإِذْنِهِ. With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will. حَتَّى إِذَا فَشِلْتُمْ, until you showed weakness, وَتَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ, and you began arguing with one another, وَعَصَيْتُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا أَرَاكُمْ مَا تُحِبُّونَ, and you disobeyed the Prophet after seeing the wealth. مِنْكُمْ مَنْ يُرِيدُ الدُّنْيَا وَمِنْكُمْ مَنْ يُرِيدُ الْآخِرَةَ. Some of you desire the dunya, some of you desire the akhirah. 5 remain. Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu came back and he saw he did the pincer movement where he came from both angles, crushed the Sahaba and killed them all. 70 Sahaba passed away in Uhud. When the Prophet ﷺ released the 70 people of Badr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, in the next battle, 70 of yours will die in place of this. The Prophet ﷺ was told that. وَلَقَدْ عَفَا عَنْكُمْ, Allah forgave you. وَاللَّهُ ذُو فَضْلٍ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, Allah is the one with bounty upon the believers. إِذْ تُسْعِدُونَ وَلَا تَلْوُونَ عَلَى أَحَدٍ وَالرَّسُولُ يَدْعُوكُمْ فِي أُخْرَاكُمْ. And as you were going away, you were not even turning back. And the Prophet ﷺ was standing there. It was the battle of Uhud. There was fear. They were shocked that they were winning. And all of a sudden they're losing. The morale dropped. The archers, the flank broken. People are being butchered left and right. And the Prophet ﷺ is calling them back. And Allah is painting this picture. It's tus'idun, when you were going away. وَلَا تَلْوُونَ, you were not even turning back. And you were walking. وَالرَّسُولُ, and the messenger was standing in between. يَدْعُوكُمْ فِي أُخْرَاكُمْ, and he is calling you. And he's calling you. فَأَثَابَكُمْ غَمًّا بِغَمٍّ, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent upon them a peace. And while they had their swords in their hands during the battle, they began falling asleep. And they had a sense of calmness. And their anxiety was deflated. And it was brought down. If you have a sense of peace in battle, this is rahmah from Allah. But if you fall asleep in class, then this is neglect from shaitan. Don't bring this here and say that, oh, you know what? Look, in Uhud they fell asleep, so in the class we're also falling asleep. So he says, وَالرَّسُولُ يَدْعُوكُمْ فِي أُخْرَاكُمْ, and while they were standing over there during the battle, the Prophet ﷺ with Umar radiallahu anhu and certain Sahaba, they were in a cave and they were hiding. And the Prophet ﷺ told Umar radiallahu anhu to give jawab. And the kuffar would say, لَنَا لَاتٌ وَعُزَّى وَلَا مَنَاتُ وَعُزَّى لَكُمْ. And the Prophet ﷺ respond, لَنَا Allahu Mawlana wala Mawlakum. Allah is our guardian and you have no Allah. They said, Al-Manat Mawla, He's our guardian and you have no guardian. The Prophet ﷺ responded, and they had this huge dialogue that happened between them. Interesting story, read it in the books of Sirah. إِذْ تُسْعِدُونَ وَلَا تَلْوُونَ عَلَى أَحَدٍ وَالرَّسُولُ يَدْعُوكُمْ فِي أُخْرَاكُمْ. He was calling you. فَأَثَابَكُمْ غَمًّا بِغَمٍّ لِكَيْ لَا تَحْزَنُوا, so that you don't have grief. What does this teach you? That the solution to grief is getting good rest. La tahzanu, grief and sadness. Get good rest, eat well, drink well, be happy. La tahzanu ala ma fatakum wala ma asabakum, so that you are not sad over what you have lost or what pain you have been afflicted with. Wallahu khabirun bima ta'malun. Allah knows what you do. ثم أنزل عليكم من بعد الغم أمانة نعاسا, and after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the first one was gham. Gham over here is not sleep. Gham over here is sorrow. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them gham in the first place, which is a level of sorrow, so that they don't get pride of the winning in Badr. And then after that sadness that they had of losing in between, Allah gave them ba'd al-ghami amanatan nu'asan. He gave them a slight slumber. Yaghsha ta'ifatan minkum, and a group of them experienced it. وَطَائِفَةٌ قَدْ أَهَمَّتْهُمْ أَنفُسُهُمْ يَظُنُّونَ بِاللَّهِ غَيْرَ الْحَقِّ ظَنَّ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ, and another group was thinking bad thoughts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يَقُولُونَ هَلْ لَنَا مِنَ الْأَمْرِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ, they said, is there anything in our hands? Did we win? Did we gain anything? قُلْ إِنَّ الْأَمْرَ كُلَّهُ لِلَّهِ, tell them everything is in Allah's hands. يُخْفُونَ فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ مَا لَا يُبْدُونَ لَكَ, they hide in their hearts what they don't make apparent towards you. These are the munafiqeen. وَيَقُولُونَ لَوْ كَانَ لَنَا مِنَ الْأَمْرِ شَيْءٌ مَا قُتِلْنَا هَاهُنَا, they said, if it was up to us, we would not have not fought in this battle. The munafiqeen said this. The few munafiqeen that were there in the battle. Now remember one thing, that the Prophet ﷺ said, don't say law, فَإِنَّ اللَّوْ يَفْتَحُ الْبَابِ. If open the door. If this was to happen, I would have done this. If this, not if. Don't worry about if. Allah decreed it, it happened in that way. رَضَى بِالْقَضَاءِ. قُلْ لَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُيُوتِكُمْ لَبَرَزَ الَّذِينَ كُتِبَ عَلَيْهِمُ الْقَتْلُ إِلَى مَضَاجِعِهِمْ. He says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you were even in your homes and it was destined for you death and you were supposed to die, it would come to you even on your bed. وَلِيَبْتَلِيَ اللَّهُ مَا فِي صُدُورِكُمْ, and Allah wanted to test your hearts. وَلِيُمَحِّصَ مَا فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ, and see and purify your hearts. وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what's beats inside the heart. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ تَوَلَّوْا مِنْكُمْ يَوْمَ الْتَقَى الْجَمْعَانِ, and indeed the people that turned back, the munafiqeen, the day when the two groups met, إِنَّمَا اسْتَزَلَّهُمَ الشَّيْطَانُ بِبَعْدِ مَا كَسَبُوا, indeed shaitan made them slip of their deeds. وَلَقَدْ عَفَى اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ, Allah forgave them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ حَلِيمٌ, Allah is forgiving and Allah is compassionate. This ayat is not about munafiqeen. This ayat is about the mu'mineen who, like Uthman radiallahu anhu, who left in the battle of Uhud. The previous ayat is about the munafiqeen. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تكونوا كالذين كفروا وقالوا لإخوانهم إذا ضربوا في الأرض أو كان غزا لو كانوا عندنا ما ماتوا وما قتلوا. O you who believe, don't be like those who disbelieved, and they said to their friends, إذا ضربوا في الأرض أو كان غزا لو كانوا عندنا ما ماتوا, that they said, had they been with us, and they told their brothers while they were traveling, that they said to them, had you been with us, you would not have died, and you would have not been harmed. لِيَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ ذَلِكَ حَسْرَةً فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ وَاللَّهُ يُحْيِي وَيُمِيتُ, so that it may become a remorse in their heart, and know that Allah gives life and Allah gives death. وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ, and Allah is aware of all that you do. وَلَئِن قُتِلْتُمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَوْ مُتُّمْ لَمَغْفِرَةٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَحْمَةٌ خَيْرٌ مِّمَّا يَجْمَعُونَ, and if you were killed in the path of Allah or you died, لَمَغْفِرَةٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ, the forgiveness of Allah and the rahmat of Allah is better than all that you can gather and all that you can accomplish. وَلَئِن مُتُّمْ أَوْ قُتِلْتُمْ لَإِلَى اللَّهِ تُحْشَرُونَ, and if you were to die or get killed, then in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala you have to stand before Him. فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ, it is the rahmat of Allah that, O Muhammad, you were made compassionate and you were made gentle. وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَضًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ لَانفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ, O Muhammad, if you were stern and stubborn and you were harsh, then they would have abandoned you. Look, even the Prophet ﷺ is being told that if you adopt harshness, the Sahaba would abandon you. Your children and your relationship is far less than the relationship of the Prophet and the Sahaba. If the Prophet was advised, don't adopt harshness, then we ourselves should not adopt harshness for our children as well. فَاعْفُ عَنْهُمْ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لَهُمْ, forgive them and do istighfar for them. Don't only forgive your children, but ask Allah to forgive them as well. وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ, consult them, advise them, talk to them. فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ, but there's no concept of democracy. You make a decision, get advice from others, but you make the decision. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُتَوَكِّلِينَ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes the ones who trust. إِن يَنْصُرْكُمُ اللَّهُ فَلَا غَالِبَ لَكُمْ, if Allah helps you, then no one can overpower you. وَإِن يَخْذُلْكُمْ فَمَنْ ذَا الَّذِي يَنْصُرْكُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ, and if he was to give you disgrace and dishonor, then who is going to help you besides him? وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, and upon Allah trust, the believers should trust. وَمَا كَانَ لِنَبِيٍّ أَنْ يَغُلَّ, and a prophet cannot deceive or do treachery or do misappropriation in the spoils of war. وَمَنْ يَغْلُلْ يَأْتِ بِمَا غَلَّ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ, and the one who does misappropriation, meaning that they steal from mal ghanima, from the booty or the treasury, then they will be brought back on the day of judgment. ثُمَّ تُوَفَّى كُلُّ نَفْسٍ مَا كَسَبَتْ وَهُمْ لَا يُظْلَمُونَ, and every person will be given what their right is and nobody will be oppressed. أَفَمَنِ اتَّبَعَ رِضْوَانَ اللَّهِ كَمَنْ بَاءَ بِسَخَطٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ, the one who follows the pleasure of Allah, how can he be like the one who follows the anger of Allah? وَمَأْوَاهُ جَهَنَّمَ, has a place in Jahannam. وَبِئْسَ الْمَصِيرُ, and that's a terrible place to go to. هُمْ دَرَجَاتٌ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ, these are various ranks by Allah. وَاللَّهُ بَصِيرٌ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ, Allah knows what you are all doing. لَقَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذْ بَعَثَ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِّنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ, and indeed Allah did a big favor on you, and He was compassionate on you when He sent a messenger to you from amongst yourselves, يتلو عليهم آياته, that would recite the Quran, يزكيهم, purify them, يعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة, teach them the Quran and hikmah and wisdom, وإن كانوا من قبل في ضلال مبين, even if before they were in misguidance. أولما أصابتكم مصيبة قد أصبتم مثليها قلتم أن هذا قل هو من عند أنفسكم إن الله على كل شيء قدير. أولما أصابتكم مصيبة, and how is it that whenever you suffered a hardship, the twice of which was afflicted, which you had inflicted upon them, قلتم أن هذا, you say, where did this come from? قل هو من عند أنفسكم, tell them that those hardships are from yourself. إن الله على كل شيء قدير, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do everything. وما أصابكم يوم التقى الجمعان فبإذن الله وليعلم المؤمنين, and whatever losses you suffered in the battle of Uhud is from Allah's side, so that Allah knows who the believers are, meaning so that Allah can make it apparent. Allah knows from beginning. وَلِيَعْلَمَ الَّذِينَ نَافَقُوا, and the hypocrites can know. وَقِيلَ لَهُمْ تَعَالَوْا, and it was told to them, come, قَاتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَدَفَعُوا, fight in the path of Allah or defend. قَالُوا لَوْ نَعْلَمُ قِتَالًا لَاتَّبَعْنَاكُمْ, they said, oh, if we knew how to fight, we'd do it. If we know how to do it, we'd do it. One day, this is back in the day story, there was a daughter-in-law, new girl, she came home. But, back in the day, the parents and the husband have these expectations. And this girl came from America, she wasn't going to give those expectations. That is khana pakana, it's not my cup of tea, what do you mean? So, the mother and the son, they got together and they said, look, we should encourage her, but again, she's from America, so we can't just tell her to her face. So I said, look, I will start cleaning the home, and then maybe she'll get some haya, and she'll also join in. Okay. A few weeks went by, she's cleaning. The new girl does nothing. The next day, the son says, look, maybe because of your age, this is, let me do it, maybe she'll get, like my husband is doing, so she might start helping out. So for a few weeks, few months, husband was doing it, she didn't change, didn't bat an eye. Now the mother and the son were like, you know what, she's not going to do it anyway. But maybe if we start talking about it in front of her, where we say, like, look, what do you call, the son was telling the mother that, look, it's okay, I'll just forget it, she's not going to listen, I'll just clean it. The mother says, no, my son, you come really tired, let me do it, it's okay. So the mother and the son are arguing about this. And they're saying, and she's saying, maybe our argument, she'll hear it, and then she'll say, no, it's okay, I'll do it. So while they're arguing, she listens, she says, why are you guys arguing? Simple. You do one day, she does one day. What's the problem solved? You do one day, she does one day. I'm out of this. So قالوا لو نعلم قتال لاتبعناكم. If I know how to clean, I'd clean. If I know how to fight, I'd fight. هم للكافرين يومئذ هم للكفر يومئذ أقرب منهم للإيمان. They were closer to kufr that day than they are to iman. يقولون بأفواههم ما ليس في قلوبهم. They say with their tongues what is not in their heart. والله أعلم بما يكتمون. And Allah knows what they're hiding. الذين قالوا لإخوانهم وقعدوا لو أطاعونا ما قتلوا. They said to their brethren that if you وقعدوا and while themselves they didn't go into battle, they said لو أطاعونا, if you would have stayed with us ما قتلوا, you would not have been killed. قل فدرؤوا عن أنفسكم الموت إن كنتم صادقين. They said, push away and avert death from yourself if you are being truthful. ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتا. Don't think the people who have been killed in the path of Allah are dead. بل أحياء, they are alive. عند ربهم يرزقون, they're being given rizq by their Allah. فرحين بما آتاهم الله من فضله, They are happy with what Allah has granted them from His bounties. وَيَسْتَبْشِرُونَ بِالَّذِينَ لَمْ يَلْحَقُوا بِهِمْ مِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ. And they are giving glad tidings to those who still haven't seen them yet. أَلَّا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. That there is no fear or sadness upon them. يَسْتَبْشِرُونَ بِنِعْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَالْفَضْلِ. And they give glad tidings with the ni'mat of Allah and His bounty. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضِيعُ أَجْرَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And that indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not waste the deeds of the believer. الَّذِينَ اسْتَجَابُوا لِلَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا أَصَابَهُمُ الْقَرْحُ. They are those people, istajabu. They responded to the call of Allah and His Messenger, مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا أَصَابَهُمُ الْقَرْحُ. Even after they had suffered losses. لِلَّذِينَ أَحْسَنُوا مِنْهُمْ وَاتَّقَوْا أَجْرٌ عَظِيمٌ. For those who did good and they had fear in Allah, there's a tremendous reward. الَّذِينَ قَالَ لَهُمُ النَّاسُ إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ فَاخْشَوْهُمْ. And there are those who, when people said, إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ, oh, the people have gathered and we're about to get wiped out. فَاخْشَوْهُمْ. Fear them when the whole world is against you. What does Allah say? فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا. Their iman just increased. وَقَالُوا. And they said, حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. Our Allah is enough for us. وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. And we follow our Allah. He's the best guardian. The whole world is against you. فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا. That's iman right there. That everything is against you, but your iman is shooting up. That's true iman. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Allah is going to give you a better outcome. Just trust the plan. Because if you don't trust the plan, you'll see the better outcome and then you'll regret what you did before. You'll regret your attitude. There's khair in it. There's good in it. فانقلبوا بنعمة من الله وفضل لم يمسسهم سوء واتبعوا رضوان الله والله ذو فضل عظيم. They turned back. Let's stop over here. Do from this ayah tomorrow. As we're getting, even though I intended to finish the whole juz today, but Ramadan makes you a little more tired than normal days to teach and to listen and study. Any questions? Yes, sister. Ayah number which? Yes. It says what? No. This is talking about the Sahaba. And I just extrapolated from there that Sahaba were ghayr. And how did the Prophet ﷺ build attachment? Right? So then I gave a metaphor that if you want attachment with your children, follow these steps as well. فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ. Stay compassionate. لَنْفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ فَاعْفُ عَنْهُمْ. Forgive them. وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لَهُمْ. Do dua for them. وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. Speak to them, consult them. Don't always treat them like bache. Give them the opportunity. وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. And then trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you do you know when you don't trust your kids? When you lack your tarbiyah with your kids. Not trusting your children is a deficiency in our education and what we have prepared the kids. For the people who have set their kids, I have no worries. I'm okay with my kid doing whatever they want because I know that I've instilled morals in them. When our tarbiyah is deficient, we take our deficiency in our tarbiyah by applying stricter rules on our children. That's deficiency in our tarbiyah. If you do tarbiyah properly, you don't have to say nothing. There's so many youth that I know. The tarbiyah is done. They won't fall into haram. They won't fall into sin. I can't do this. I know I just can't. I won't do this haram. Talk to your kids. Converse with them. Understand them. Speak to them. Give them respect. Let them make decisions. What parents do is they enforce ideas on children.
they don't let children come up with ideas. When they see the children start hanging out with friends, instead of trying to find them better friends, they try to block them from their friends. Al-mar'u harisun ila ma muni'a. A person wants to do more with when you stop them from doing something. They want to do that thing more. It's about responsible education. At the same time, if you make a decision, never as a parent say, well, this is my decision because I said so. Yes. Yes. There was this is a funny story. I didn't go to Iceland with my family recently. I went to Iceland at the end of November. They're telling me a story that I guess the company they did it was for a Muslim company, and there was a Muslim guy there. He had a little 7-year-old kid. And I have a niece that's like less than 2 years old. She was crying. And he goes like, what do you? She cries a lot. Chup nahi hoti hai. This is stay quiet. 7-year-old kid. Telling my mom. He's like, isko chup karna hai na. Ek chaata lagana. He's like, you want to shut the kid up? Just give her one slap. My mom's like, she's a 2-year-old kid. What do you mean give her a slap? He's like, my mom slaps me. I stay quiet. And you're like, wait, this is a kid at 6 years old. Imagine him at like 16. Yes, some of the youngsters that I sit with and I talk with, there's some of the words that, whoa. Is that your conversation? Is that how you talk? So I'll hold kids accountable. If they say something here and there, once my relationship is getting close to them, then I'll hold them accountable. Don't say like this. Don't say something this way. We put that tarbiyah in. It'll work from Mufti Wasim's side because obviously if we're closer in age, this and that, it'll work. But from parents' side, you have to instill it from right from the beginning. Adab and akhlaq. Never, ever get in an argument with your husband in front of your kids. You get angry, your children will get 10 times more angry than you. Trust me, they will learn anger from you. And then they will beat you at your own game. You guys get in a fight because they see how you talk to the dad, they will learn these things. And you will be the first victim of it. Is there some type of support group among the sisters where they kind of match their children based on ages and backgrounds? I think this is something that's good. No, this is not something. If your children are friends with someone, you should be best friends with those kids' parents. You should be best friends with your kids' parents. Yeah. When my nephew and niece were much smaller. Now mine is like 7 years old or something, 7 years old. He's 7 now. 6, turning 7. And he was probably 3 years old or 4. 2 or 3 years old. I used to read Quran and memorize Quran in my musalla. And Mahir would come and he would 2.5-year-old kid to his 3-year-old kid. Like, cha, I want baby Quran. So then, wallahi, this is a true story. So now in my library I have thousands of books. I'm like, what am I going to give this little kid a Quran for? So I went and grabbed any Arabic book and I just gave it to him. I was like, what is he going to know the difference between an English book and Arabic? He's a 3-year-old kid. Wallahi, the kid was like, Chacha, this is not Quran. He says, I want baby Quran. And wallahi, he went and he picked up a pocketbook Quran. Sat down. And I'm sitting there reading Quran and he's also rocking with me as well. Reading Quran. So now, what do you call my other nephew, 3 years old, Sufyan? He has a Qibla issue. He prays Salah, but he doesn't. So, you know when you pray Salah, you're facing the Qibla, right? But your back is towards other people. So he thinks when you pray salah, your back has to be towards people. So if people are sitting down, so our qibla in our home is straight. Right? But then we have a living room to the sofa. So if my father, he just turns around facing the other way. So I told him, I was like, he's still on the Masjid al-Aqsa qibla. But again, these things are learned what? To bring in the kids there. My nieces and nephews, they sit inside the car, they know their 3-year-old kid knows Quranic surahs and ayats and every single thing, du'as, walk in the car, subhanalladhi sakhara lana, sleeping dua, waking dua, all the du'as. And then when they get a little upset, and their mom says, no subhanalladhi, no sakhara lana, no haza, no kunna, no lamun, right? Do whatever they can read from their side. But these small things with muhabbat, with love, they make it interesting. And then, unfortunately, what do? We don't get involved in our teachers' education. So a lot of us, we have a religious background in our home, so we are involved in it. What do parents do? Wait, so you and the child have no ta'alluq, between you and the child and Allah, there's no triangle between you three. There should be ta'aleem at home every single day. One hadith, 5-minute ta'aleem at home. If you need suggestions on books and stuff, I'll give you suggestions. Every single day, 5 minutes, not more, not less. Sit together as a family before eating or something, read one. And I promise you the environment of your home will change. I promise you this. We've left ta'aleem. What do? YouTube videos, this, that. No, sit with the book. Sit with respect. Teach your children how to sit around Quran and Hadith. And when they come to the masjid, they'll know the adabs and etiquettes. Do you know how many kids sit in front of me with their feet stretched? And you know me, I'm also straight from put your feet aside. I'm not فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُ. But this small adab and akhlaq has not been taught. Small ihtaram things have not been taught. And these things we have to teach at home. Don't trust the imam for everything. Take a big part. The imam is supposed to do whatever you didn't do. Whatever you can't do. Whatever you can't do. If your child is becoming a hafiz but you don't listen to their kids' Quran, then you're not a supporting parent. Every day you should be listening to your kids' Quran. Giving them that motivation, giving them that dua. It's a hard journey. But imagine if a parent is there listening and be like, you know what, good job. Homework, what happens with homework? You did your homework? Yeah, mom. There's no idea. You have no idea what's going on. Study alongside with them. Struggle with them as well. Especially if you stay at home. That's exactly what we do. That's the sad thing. We're our children's Uber. They call us where to go and then they tell us where to go. We don't know who their friends are, what they're doing. And as they're getting older, they're getting further from us. And they're becoming distant. And then you think to yourself, I tell people, I say, I never trust any love. When I saw the love between a mother and a child can break away in time. That the same child at the age of 2, 3 years old is holding their mother's hand. Mom. He does not leave the mother. But then 15 years later, now he just cannot stand his mother. And you're like, wow, what has happened? Then when people come and they say, we were in Uzbekistan. And there was a couple there. And they were about to get married. Someone was doing a photo shoot. So we were walking past and we were looking each other's eyes. So the Maulana that was standing next to me, he's like, Abhi, mohabbat se dekh rahe hain. 5 saal ke baad dushmani se dekhenge. He said, now they look at each other with muhabbat. In 5 years, they won't even look at each other. There'll be anger in those eyes. And temper in those eyes. What changes? When you're young, your mother is always there for the kid. Every step she's teaching the kid. She's there motivating the kid. And then as things get older, you start delegating it to other people. This public school system, and we don't even have that great Islamic schools either. Our Islamic schools are no different than our public schools too. I don't know about the situation at Dallas school, Islamic schools that well. But in other places that I've seen, kids are worse at Islamic school than at public school. One thing I think is very important is an establishment of a proper Islamic school. Where the kid after 12 years in the hafiz of the Quran knows good hadith, their du'as, akhlaq, adab. I think that is very important. That should be building masajid, all that is great, mashallah, it's good. If you can't educate your kids, the madrasa comes first before the masjid. The education comes first. If you don't have education, you have a big building with nobody inside it. Look at other masajid around. Mashallah, your community is blessed. Go to other masajid. And just look at the sufuf at Isha, and you can count the kids on one hand. And then go for 1 week, and maybe there will probably be no single youth that will attend a salah every single week. Over here, this masjid, mashallah, you have your normals. Maybe this is just a Ramadan vibe. And after Ramadan, it's going to be the same everywhere else. Khidr? After Ramadan, it's the same thing? But we're investing so much behind these lectures. Tarbiyah, akhlaq, create individuals. People in the past, knowledge was just a mechanism, but they created people and humans. And they're each one individuals. They went and they conquered worlds and conquered hearts. That's the real thing. Insan banana. Making people humans. That's what our teachers did. They invested. If you look at anyone who graduated from my seminary, pretty much that's in America, is doing something remarkable. Is doing something pretty good. Someone's teaching, making scholars. Someone is running a masjid with amazing, running three masjids at a time. Someone's establishing madrasa. Someone's establishing makatib. Someone is converting so many people. Someone, Allahu Akbar. Everyone is utilizing something because the teachers there, they didn't focus. To them, money was nothing. Literally, the teachers, most of the teachers that I've studied by, most of them, 90%, were all living in poverty. Most of the people. And not poverty because they could not get more. They could have been professors or done anything and made more money. They could have lectured and taught tuition and all that stuff. They chose poverty. They chose it for themselves. We used to have teachers that would come after Isha and teach students. And they used to say, we teach students at this time because in the morning hours we get paid for it. So we want to teach right now only for Allah's sake. So on the Day of Judgment we have something to show Allah that, Ya Allah, I've sincerely done this for you. Charging for a lecture. I was in the UK with Sheikh Haytham Haddad. And he was like, the Americans have corrupted our market. They said, we were a conservative people where we studied for Allah's sake and we taught for Allah's sake. And now you started this whole phenomenon, $30 this ticket, $50 that ticket, $80 this thing. As mashallah, popularity increases, the price tag also increases. So I told one person, I said, this person's only worth $50. I said, that's it? That's all they're looking for? You have to break these norms. And you won't break these, if you keep encouraging it, you won't break it. Remember, someone told me the other day, they messaged me. And they said something. They were like, you should make podcasts. One youngster from Epic told me. Really passionate with this, you should make podcasts. And I was like, God, I'm trying to shy away from these things for my own nafs. One brother last night told me, he said, well, post your video, this and that. I was like, no. I was like, for my nafs I need to. Otherwise the love of likes and the love of sharing and the love of promotion will also enter my heart. It's already there. I need to get this out of my heart. I was like, and you're going to put me in fitna by this. So I told that kid, when he said, well, if you're seeing podcasts, he said, you can make money off of this. And I said, why are you tempting me with fitna? I was like, why are you encouraging temptations in my heart? Why are you putting me in that situation where I will lose myself? You are instigating this. I was like, you should not have said that. And the kid recognized it, and I'm really, really sorry to say that. I was like, you should not have said that. I was like, now the discussion comes, you call an imam, first question, what is the honorarium? This is a dishonorarium. It's not an honorarium, with karam, it's a hadiyah out of love. Today now every imam has a fixed rate, there's a menu. And then as they get upgraded, the rate increases. This is one of the biggest unfortunate things that we're doing in the community, where knowledge is being accessible only to the wealthy. Only those who have. They said, no, but look, if anyone can't afford, it's okay, it's free. Why put anyone in that situation where they have to come and beg for you? If you're an established institute and this and that, is a different story. If you're charging at a decent amount that is keeping your institute running, I appreciate that. But if you're charging students in your institute such tremendous money that they have to do GoFundMe campaigns and beg for money. Wait, if you're teaching the kid before he enters the program to beg for money, then that's his mentality. One youngster comes to me, did 1-2 years and became imam somewhere. I'm an unsheathed sword. I messaged him immediately. I said, brother, you don't deserve to be an imam. I said, you studied for 1-2 years, you're deceiving people. I said, but you can't deceive Allah. So you're doing it for a paycheck. Why? It's because an imam would cost them too much, so then they'll go cheap with someone. I said, you're deceiving people. He's like, no, I'm imam because my teachers in the community. I was like, well, Allah, even if your teachers, community, everyone, you know it's wrong. In your heart, you know it's wrong, and you know you're unqualified. And the Prophet ﷺ said, in the end of times, اتخذوا رؤوسا جهالا ضلوا فأضلوا. They will take unqualified people as their teachers. They will be misguided and they will misguide. And we are living in the era today. But you were saying something. The end game wasn't money. The motivating factor was not money. That's what I'm trying to say. I met a youngster the other day somewhere outside, and he comes from a very good father, very well-known father. And he met me somewhere, and we were talking, and all of a sudden he's like, I want to study Islam. I was like, oh yeah, I was really excited because you don't hear that very often anymore. And he's like, yeah, I want to make good money, and I want to also, have knowledge. And I was like, wait, good money? Where does that? And he started naming some speakers, and I was like, that's such a bad intention. And he couldn't get why it was a bad intention. And this is like not any normal kid. One of the most amazing akhlaq and character, wonderful youngster, really good kid. And he was just like, wait, why can't I exploit it? Like, it's a halal risk, this, the other, but that's not the intention you should be walking in with. You should not be walking in with that intention. It's a top-bottom approach. The top has to clean their heart. The people at the top have to clean their heart. Inshallah, do dua. Our hearts ourselves is dirty. What are we going to do, come with a dirty heart and try to clean something? But our hope is to do something for Allah's sake. How much ever Allah gives us life, we do it for His sake. And that the fitna of the dunya or any other fitna does not encroach our heart. We're all humans. But we have to keep ourselves in check. Why do I say these things? So tomorrow I'm not put in the same fitna and I go back. Knowing that I have spoken on this topic, I know that there's a less likely chance of me falling in the same fitna. But nobody's safe. That's why I speak about this so often. First and foremost for myself than anybody else, so that I don't fall into the same fitna. There are better people than me have fallen into fitna. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You hear about these things. And then the volunteers in the program of the event, the whole community benefits. The volunteers have such ill thoughts of the speaker. Oh, the speaker came and he wants this 5-star and he wants this and he wants this thing and that thing. I'm like, is he a speaker? Is he a prime minister? That he wants this and that and wants this car and that. What is going on? If the people in the community knew the demands of the speaker, no one would come and listen to him. But the reality is that we are also the ones who are attempting, giving fitna. Organizations I know, you won't, and that's why I'm so careful in my zakat. I know of very famous zakat organizations who give speakers hundreds and thousands of dollars just to represent them. 100,000. There is no imam, there is no reason for any imam to take 100,000 from any single charitable organization. None whatsoever. None. Zero. That's zakat right there. Then you have other research institutes and other things taking people's zakat. There are poor people dying of hunger and thirst. And now over here, people who are in research and this and that are taking zakat money. We've abused the whole concept. And Allah will ask us for the poor that are dying. My zakat, I'm so sensitive on it. Very sensitive. And I don't endorse anybody for zakat. Sadaqah, sure, give whoever you want. Zakat, no. I don't trust half the people that give zakat because I have seen the abuse firsthand with my own eyes. I went somewhere, there were people sitting down, I was invited by a charity organization. Dinner time, lavish meal. I called the youngster out. I said, who's paying for this meal? He said, no, just don't worry about it. We have the organization. I was like, oh wait. I was like, I didn't tell you that. I didn't ask you, don't worry or worry. This wasn't your concern. I asked you who's paying for this. So it's the organization is. I was like, and each person ordered their own item. There's 5 butter chickens, 7 biryanis. There's just no one's coordinating. You're not sharing. You don't even do this in your own homes. And you come here and you're abusing the money. I said, all the wastage that's going to happen, who's going to get the sin? You for inviting me, or me because you invited me and because of me you did all this? Who's getting the sin? Is it me or is it you? Who's going to get the sin for all this wastage? And the youngster thought about it. I said, you have three options. I said, number one, either limit the food that you're ordering. If you don't want to, number two, let me pay for the food. He said, no, how can we do that? I was like, number three, I was like, if you're not going to limit the food, not to let me pay for the food, from tomorrow on, I'm not eating with you guys. Immediately, they were like, for the first time in decades, a speaker or anyone told them, don't waste food and don't. This is the first time in our life we heard someone say this. I said, this is the ummah's money. When we used to study in madrasa, the lights being on, the teacher would be like, wait, the light being on, is it necessary? People donated their hard-earned money and their qurbani for this. And now, what do you call, you have lights on and this is being wasted, fans are being turned on, this and that. You have no darat for this. No, this is the ummah's money. No taklif for this. Benches, we would be scared of riding on the bench or anything or damaging any property. This is the ummah's money. But now because we get easy 50,000 and 100,000 that are dropped everywhere, then you don't feel the pain anymore. Oh, why? It's because this isn't a struggle for it. This man has mashallah so much, he's just dropping 50. So it desensitizes us at the pain, because there are many in the community that were struggling and they heard the call of Allah and then they came. They heard the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then they put it in. But that's the solution. Do dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the ability to act on what has been said. Allahumma laka alhamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhika wa azimi sultanik. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك منه كنبيك وحبيبك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك منه كنبيك وحبيبك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. أنت المستعان وعليك البلاغ ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Ya Allah, forgive our major and minor sins. Ya Rabbal Alameen, forgive the sins of our mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, relatives, and everyone in our family. Ya Rabbal Alameen, those whose family members are alive, give them a long and healthy life and bless their life. Those who passed away, turn their graves into a garden from the gardens of Jannah and give them the isar al-thawab of our dars, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, put the love of yourself in our hearts. Ya Allah, make us close to you. Ya Allah, make the dunya far from our hearts. Ya Allah, make us love the akhirah more than we love the dunya. Let us desire the hereafter more than we desire the dunya. Let us desire you more than we desire our fantasies. Ya Allah, guide us, protect us, Ya Rabbal Alameen. We are cloaked in sin. We are drowning in sin. Ya Rabbal Alameen, save us, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, if you don't answer our call, which door will we go to, Ya Rabbal Alameen? Ya Allah. Ya Allah, anything that has been good that has been said in the dars, it is from you and you alone. Ya Rabbal Alameen, all the mistakes we've made, all the mistakes of harakat and letters and translation and tafsir that we've made, Ya Rabbal Alameen, forgive me, Ya Allah. Forgive us for it, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Forgive all of us, Ya Allah. Ya Rabbal Alameen, we did not do the haqq of your kitab or your Quran, Ya Allah. We have not fulfilled the haqq of it. Ya Allah, the remaining days of Ramadan that are left, let them go by blessed. And Ya Allah, let us attain Laylatul Qadr and let this Ramadan not end without us being in the state of being completely forgiven. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. If your children have been joining the i'tikaf, we have few spots, inshallah. You can get them to join the i'tikaf, inshallah.
الله أكبر الله أكبر